Welcome to 2026, where the future of AAA gaming is a buttery smooth 60 frames per second in the palm of your hands. This is Jay, and welcome to the channel. Not too long ago, we lived in a time where gaming was ridden with microtransactions and pay-to-win elements. But a hero, called Proton, stood up in the face of corporate greed. Long story short, Proton is what we call a compatibility layer, and it is what lets us run Windows games on Linux. Combined with a little help from powerful ARM translation tools like FEX, the ARM architecture has unlocked thousands of PC titles on Android handhelds. Today we're diving into exactly how this works, spotlighting the super user-friendly GameHub app and walking you through setting up your Steam library on devices like the Odin 3, Ioneo Pocket S here, or Retroid Pocket 6. So what took so long for ARM handhelds to be a worthy contender in the gaming space? The core problem has always been architecture mismatch. Nearly all Steam games are built for x86 or x64 CPUs, which are found in traditional PCs. Meanwhile, ARM handhelds are powered by chips like Qualcomm's Snapdragon series, and they speak an entirely different language. Without some form of translation, these games simply refuse to launch. This is where a bunch of smart people came together and created modern compatibility stacks, which are built on Proton's proven foundation of Wine, VXVK, and VKD3D, plus some advanced x86 to ARM translators, which convert instructions on the fly with astonishing efficiency, delivering performance that feels almost native here. So let's look at the back end of the technology a bit. At the heart of this dynamic translation technology are tools like FEX and Box, and they convert x86 code to ARM readable instructions, and in real time, with some really intelligently and cleanly designed optimizations. Basically, Proton translates API calls and recreates the registry and file system and routes graphics through either DirectX or Vulkan. On flagship chips like the Snapdragon 8 Elite and the AY and Odin 3, this means many titles can now easily hit 60 frames per second, or maybe even higher. With a little help from custom GPU drivers like Turnip, commands are fed straight to the Adreno GPU, eliminating the need for any software rendering. But listen, what if you're not a nerd like I am? You just want a plug and play solution, and everything I said over the last couple of minutes was all garbage mumbo jumbo. Well, that's where our boy on the block, GameHub, steps in. GameHub automatically creates isolated environments, connects directly to your Steam account, with cloud safe support, mind you, and lets you browse, install, and launch games with just a few taps. While there are alternatives like WinLater, which are great for DRM-free libraries, GameHub remains the go-to choice for seamless, full-featured Steam integration. Although they have a dodgy track record over privacy concerns, but how much that matters to you is a call you must take yourself. If privacy is something that really matters to you, you should check a fork of GameHub called GameHub Lite that has the privacy concerns fixed. However, you have to deal with delayed updates compared to the official GameHub app. Now, setting things up is refreshingly easy, usually 5 minutes or less. Download the latest APK from the official website, install it, grant storage permissions. After this, open the app, choose the Steam setup option. Once you've signed in and installed a game of your choice, GameHub will automatically pull in the necessary components and settings that it finds optimal, and if you're lucky, things will just work perfectly out of the box. It's a good idea to start testing everything at 720p, and if it's all smooth, work your way up from there. But what if things don't work out of the box? What if your game just won't start? Worry not, we've got a lot of fun tweaking to do. The first place to start would be the compatibility layer. Start with the latest version of Proton you can find and keep testing till you land up with one that boots the game. Now what if the game does boot but you run into graphical glitches or slow frame rates? This is where the previously mentioned Turnip drivers come into play. Simply head to the GPU driver option and select the latest Turnip drivers you can find and work your way down till you come across a driver that runs perfectly. In most of my testing, just getting the latest Proton layer and Turnip drivers together have given me the best results. However, if you still have issues booting your game or getting it to run smoothly, there are a few other parameters to tweak, like the DXVK version, FEX CPU translators, and custom parameters. But like I said, you try those next if the combination of compatibility layers and GPU drivers don't work. Now, cutting-edge 2025 AAA titles will not give you these results. We're still very early in this journey, and I'd suggest you stick to titles from around 2020 or earlier, but take a minute to imagine how far we'll be in the next couple of years. The next Steam Deck could be ARM. Listen, I'm calling it here on the channel, next Steam Deck is an ARM beast. Now drop a comment with the games you've tried and have impressed you the most. What's running better than you expected? I could get Resident Evil 3, the 2020 remake, to run at a steady 50 frames per second on low settings. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more handheld gaming content. Maybe I'm gonna cover something a bit more different next time. I've got a few handhelds coming into the mail over the next couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. See you until next time.